Evolution of a Trader, episode 32, I believe. Starting off this Monday in the red, unfortunately. Just kind of made some lazy trades. There wasn't really anything going on. I should have just held off on the day, shoulda, coulda, woulda. But I was looking at PULM and saw this little situation happen. And I was originally watching it once it passed 70, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to wait for a little bit of a dip, see what happens. So, yeah, it ended up dropping down a little bit to 85. So I was like, okay, this is a good spot, but in reality, it wasn't. I got out because I just didn't like the drop it was having, and I had 1,000 shares, so every penny is $10, and I'm trying to hold on to that risk management. And then what is going to happen pretty soon here is a little bit of eagerness. I hop in right away again just because I see that green candle right there. I was like, shit, should have held. It was going up, blah, 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 blah. So I saw a little bit more movement happen. I saw the volume pick up again, a little bit more than it did that previous candle. So I hopped in, but as soon as I hopped in, I realized, oh shit, you see me hovering over the flat. But as soon as I hopped in, I realized, shit, like I don't get in there and just start firing off the hip, because that's what it felt like. As soon as I bought that 1,000, I was like, all right, take it easy, because you are potentially going down a path that you don't want to go down mentally. So I hopped in there, and then I kind of took a breath, slowed it down. And of course, immediately regretted that, jumping in the gun too soon. But then I jumped in. I knew that, but I was like, fuck that. That was a big fat dip. Let me hop in, see if I can get something going, something good going. Because my main play is the dip buy. So that's what I was looking at in this case. So I bought that little guy, waiting for it. I had it up a few pennies right here, but a few pennies really isn't enough. It's really not worth it. I was looking for it to go back up to at least 80 so I can grab like a $50 jump on it. And I didn't like what I was seeing at that point, so I just hopped out. I was watching this video. I forget the guy's name, but I was watching this man's video about market makers, and the quote was, so-and-so says the market is rigged against us. And he made some very interesting observations about how time and sales are sold. Our order flows are sold to big companies, investors and shit that have. And by the way, I'm telling you this because you see, as soon as I sold it, it goes up. But the order flows are sold to people who have like half a second or whatever more than us in the market, and they see that shit and use it again and bet against us. And I said that because originally I was going to say, oh, of course it goes up as soon as I sold, but I'm using a paper trading account right now, which I highly doubt that they're sending to anybody because that wouldn't make any sense. It's just invaluable information for them. They're not going to be making money off me. And I'm not affecting the liquidity and the supply and demand either way. So it makes you wonder, even though I know that's true, it makes you wonder what's going on. And so this was my last trade right here, I believe. Oh, no, I had one more after this. But yeah, took a couple minutes, just to see what was forming in itself. Thought I saw a little movement happening. And, you know, rather than just taking those quick $40, $50 gains, I was holding on looking for something bigger. And that wasn't happening on this one, and I didn't recognize that quick enough. So I would end up, you know, instead of getting out right here with a $50 gain or $70 gain, I believe I ended up just taking it off. It's a fucking loss, which sucks. But that's something that, reflecting back on now, is something that I need to remember when I'm making these $1,000. See right there, $70. If I'm making these $1,000 or 1,000 share trades, there's nothing wrong with taking and the movement is a little choppy, shaky. There's nothing wrong with taking fucking $50, $70 on a trade, because even $40, because you take 4 of those, that adds up. You're almost at $200. And if you're just being greedy and not taking them, and because the market's choppy, look right there, could have hopped out something real nice, over almost $100. But again, I waited. But yeah, if you're not taking those and the market's choppy, you just end up taking a loss. So it's like, would you rather take $50 gain or $50 loss plus commissions, $70 loss? Like, duh. It's easy to think about that in the moment, or in hindsight. In the moment, it's always a different story, you know? So yeah, and then it starts going against me right here. Bobbing around. I wanted to wait it out, still miss multiple chances up at the 90s, and then as soon as it crashes on me, I hop out. Somewhere around here. Anyway, I should have saw that curling down anyway, so. Hopped out there with a big fat loss somewhere around the... Shit, I don't know, somewhere around... I ended up losing like $300 on the day or some shit. Yeah, I mean, it's not... And also my computer was going super slow. You could see that blockiness that it's got going on right now. But yeah, I mean, taking the loss in the chin